Jess is hotcakes now. She booking Bitcoin. Bitcoin, girl.
Justin.
Do you like a baller?
A baller, wow.
A baller.
Who doesn't want to be a wag?
I am very disheartened that Andre went home. Really am. I think the when Richie went home, I complained again, and I'm going to complain again. The producers have their favorites, and this is why they're saving them, because there was no reason why they broke up Andre and Richie. Had Andre stayed with Richie, he would have still been in the villa, and he would have made it to the finale. Not that I'm saying they would have won, but they would have still been on the show until the end, because the viewers liked them as a couple. I think they were cute, and they had great banter between the two of them. I wish they had left them alone, but anyway. And then Whitney. Whitney is going to just be Whitney, and she's just going to say some of the funniest things ever. Hey there, it's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island, Season 10, Episode 12. If you're new here, please click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. Am I surprised that Leah is going after Sammy or Sammy's going after Leah? No. Sammy's playing the game. He's always played the game. He's always wanted to have two girls at one go. Initially, he was going between Molly and Jess, and now he's going between Leah and Jess. So I wasn't surprised that he was making a pass at her and talking about getting to know her. Leah, on her part, just wants to stay in the villa, and she's going to do anything and say anything in order to stay in the villa, which means if it means her coupling up with Sam, she's going to do that until her type walks into the villa. Sadly, the new boy is too young for her, so I don't think she would want to date a 22-year-old at 27. So I think she's going to push for Sammy unless Jess makes it known that she needs Sammy back and she needs to take a step back. Yeah, when Jess came back and Sam, I think Sam was trying to sort of get away with talking to Leah without Jess knowing. So when Jess came back and found them on the daybed, he was surprised and really tried to cover that up. And that's why in his conversation with her, he was sort of saying, yeah, she's got good chat, but I still want to continue getting to know you. Even the guys asked him, Ty asked him, who is your favorite between the two girls? And he didn't come out and say. He was just mumbling. I don't remember hearing anything he had to say. Jess came back from her date with Scott. I said this before, I'll say this again. I don't know why they keep bringing these young boys when they have older girls. It doesn't make sense to me, but maybe that's the type of applicant that they get in the guy's side. And so the guys speak with Scott, and Scott is very vague in who he likes and how his date went with Jess. Jess, on her part, you could tell that she really wasn't interested in Scott. Although they're the same age, I don't think she fancied him. Was I surprised that he went for Catherine? No. He came in with the same game plan as Zachariah. I remember saying this about Zachariah, and I'll say this about Scott again. Apart from the fact that Scott has been in Dublin for the past year, and that's where Catherine is from, I don't think, well, maybe we will see. But the way Catherine was excited and she was laughing, it could be the familiarity in the sense that someone has been to where she lives and so someone understands where she's coming from. But still, I didn't like her excitement and how she jumped on board as soon as he said, are you open? And she said, yes, I am. I'm not yet closed off. I remember saying, Andre should not pick Catherine. As much as I love Catherine, I remember saying Richie liked and really had feelings for Andre. He should have picked Richie because Richie would have kept him in the villa. Choosing Catherine is still open to getting to know every single person. Whereas Richie lit up when she spoke about Andre. So I'm sorry for Andre, really. I'm sorry for Andre because I think if a coupling comes and is still in the villa, Catherine is going to go with the new guy as long as he picks her. She is going to make a pass for him. I think she was just with Andre because that's the only person available to her. Mitch is a fool. I'm going to say Mitch is a fool. He is a fool because all this time he's been saying that Molly is the only girl for him. He's not attracted to any of the girls in the villa. He only sees Molly as his head, and he can't stay there and watch her crack on with anybody else because she's his only person in the villa. He's not interested in all the other girls. He doesn't find them attractive. And then out of the blue, he turns around and tells Jess that I fancy you. After seeing you at the football challenge, I really realized that I fancy you and I want to get to know you on a romantic level. And Jess laughed at him because it doesn't make sense for him out of the blue to suddenly say that I'm attracted to you. It's week 2. Where has he been? He should have kept his cards close to his chest. I think he thought if he went all in on Molly, then Molly would take him back, and he's realized that Molly's really not that into him. So he's now looking for a plan B. And in order to stay in the villa, he can't stay in the villa single. This is why he's decided to make his intentions known towards Jess. And the fact that if he was that interested in Jess, why did he not speak to Sammy when Jess was on her date? Why did he not speak to Jess as soon as they came back from the football challenges? That's where he sort of became attracted to her, because Sammy challenged him and said, "Oh, all of a sudden you're now interested in Jess," and he went, "Well, you want me to wait 3 months before I express my interest?" And it's like, that's not it. Even Jess friend zoned him. Her hug friend zoned him. You could tell she friend zoned him. Um, but Jess is honest to a fault. The fact that she said, I might use Mitch to make Sammy jealous, and I was just like, oh my god. I can see a recoupling. If Leah picks Sammy, Jess is going to pick up Mitch just to make Sammy jealous, and I can see Sammy coming back to Jess and trying to stay with Jess. And Whitney's crazy. Whitney's like, Jess is in high demand like a Bitcoin. Everybody's after her, and it's like, oh my god, Whitney's crazy. Everybody gets ready for bed, and it's sweet. You can really see Ty and Ella are in a good place, because before she goes to sleep, he gives her a kiss, and it's like, oh, I really love that for them. I really do. I think I sort of saw a bit of Andre making out in bed with Catherine, and was taken aback, because ever since they've decided to sort of start seeing each other, we haven't heard their conversations outside of the fact that Andre was saying you're a Yoruba demon or something like that when they were joking. That's it. We haven't heard their conversations, so it doesn't make sense. I think the producers wanted Andre out. I think the producers wanted Andre out, especially once Richie went, because I think Richie and Andre were such fan favorites that the producers felt they were taking sort of the viewers' attention away from their favorites, and this is why they want Andre out, and they won't show him. They just show him in the background. We barely get to hear his dialogue, which I don't get. In the morning, surprisingly, they have group catch ups. It's not sort of split into little semi groups. I don't know whether it's because the Ty and Ella situation has been resolved, and so now Ella's happy to be in the same group with Leah. I think it was very tense. That's why they were separating them for that reason. And during the conversation, Scott says he wants to get to know Molly. He wants to know what the hype is about, and reminded me of Whitney when she kissed Zach because she wanted to understand the hype. And it's like, oh my god, all the guys were just embarrassed as soon as he said that. He said he's open to getting to speak to all the girls. He wants to get to know all of them. Ty obviously is in a good place with Ella and is continuing to work on that connection. Ella says he is sort of, his words are matching his actions, and it's like, okay, let's see, Kasamo is coming. And then the guys make breakfast. Well, Medi made breakfast because I didn't see what exactly Ty did. I don't know whether they just put, the avocado on the toast and the smoked salmon, and then Medi gave him an egg. But it was cute to see them sit down. But then what I found strange was they were sort of sitting at an L-shaped table, and at one end you had Ella and Ty, the other end you had Andre and Catherine, and yet Andre and Catherine were snipped out, and it's like, why don't you want us to see Andre and Catherine? What's so bad about their coupling that you continually are hiding them away from us? Why is it? At least we're hearing Catherine speak with other people. We haven't heard Andre say anything the whole episode. It doesn't make sense for me. Um, and then after breakfast, Scott grabs Catherine again for a chat, and she says she is open and she would hope Andre is still open as well and would want to get to know any bombshell that comes in. And it's like, why are you giving these boys a chance that are just going to use you and move on to the next person? I don't. Sadly, Catherine is stunning, but her personality is very, what can I say? She's a very quiet person, so her personality doesn't really come out even when she's in the group. At least with Ella, she's fiery. With Whitney, she's unpredictable. Anything goes. But with Catherine, because she's so mellow, her personality doesn't really come out, and it's in such a show, it doesn't make her stand out outside of her beauty. I think she wouldn't stand out if she didn't have that. Scott then pulls Whitney for a chat, and Whitney is going to be Whitney. Whitney is going to be Whitney. So she's asking him, what do you do for a living? He tells her he's been a footballer since he was the age of 6. What else have you done? He said, nothing. She said, oh, you can do modeling. There's plenty of bag in there. This is what I like about Whitney. Whitney is just, and I think this is what Medi likes, because even when Scott asked her, how's your connection with Scott? Do you always like French guys? I should. Well, apparently I do. I want Whitney with Maddie. Despite the issues that they had, I want Whitney with Maddie. Scott must leave Whitney and Maddie alone. I like them as a couple. I like their sense of humor. I like their craziness. I wish we could get more airtime of them shading everybody else in the villa. I keep asking for this and I'll continue to ask for this. So nothing really interesting happened during the day. It's just after they get ready for the night. Obviously, Scott pulls Ella for a chat. The girls were saying he's got good chat. She does have a conversation, and I have to give it to Ella. I wish Catherine would adopt the same playbook, because Ella told Scott that for my head to turn, a guy has to walk in and say to me, Ella, you're it for me. I have come in and I've come in for you and nobody else but you. Then my head will turn, because I want to know why is he, what is it about me that he likes, and whatever, we can get to know each other and see if there's something there. And I don't want to be one of four options, which she was right to say. Yes, Scott has been pulling Catherine more than everybody else, but he hasn't made it known that he's coming for Catherine. He hasn't. I think he would have liked Jess. The problem is Jess didn't like him, and so Catherine is now his plan B. And if Catherine fails, he'll go for plan C, plan D, until he gets to someone who will take him. And I have to give it to Ella for telling him that I've got a great thing going, so I'm not going to jeopardize that because you feel, you want me to add to your roster. And then she went to have a conversation with Ty to sort of just, this is what I like as well about Ella, that whatever's happening, she always makes sure that she updates her partner in what's going on. And Ty was in his feelings immediately. Immediately, he was in his feelings. I'm giving you 3 hours to decide whether or not you want to be with Scott or you want to be with me. But once you decide you want to get to know Scott, you don't come back. It's just like, buddy, you have just been doing the same crap. You have been getting to know Leah. I've given you enough time to get to know Leah. I haven't put a time clock on your time. I've just been questioning you and asking you. Be honest with me. Tell me what you want to do. And so for you to suddenly turn around and tell me that, I have 3 hours, that I did, and he stormed off, and I'm like, Ty is in love. Ty is in love. He doesn't know it, he doesn't recognize it, but Ty is in love because the way he's acting, man is acting crazy. He's got these feelings, as I said, man has got feelings, and man is struggling to process these feelings, and these feelings are overtaking man because man doesn't know what to do with himself. Oh my god, I felt it was sweet. Scott pulls Catherine for another chat, and Catherine keeps smiling and sort of entertaining him. I think this is why he keeps pulling her, and I have a feeling that he's going to pull her until one of the bombshells turns her head, or until Charlotte or Leah, or he gets one of the other girls to turn their heads, then he's going to treat her the same way Zach treated her. And I don't get why she keeps putting up with all this crap from these little boys. Scott receives a text message to say everybody needs to gather around the fire pit. Oh God. The audience were voting for their favorite girl and favorite boy, so somebody's definitely going home. So at the fire pit, it's revealed that 3 boys have received the least votes and 3 girls have received the least votes. Am I surprised by anyone in the bottom 3? Not really. Outside of Andre, I'm not really surprised, because Andre, I think if Richie was still at the villa, the viewers would have voted for him because people liked him with Richie. But Catherine, we haven't seen anything of Catherine outside of her conversations with the girls occasionally when they said she picked on when they said she picked on Jess, and also with Scott. That's when we've seen most of her, but we haven't seen her conversations with Andre. Leah and Charlotte, it was to be expected. Zach and Sammy, am I surprised? Not really. Not really. Because despite his issue with Whitney, Maddie is still loved by the viewers. Ty is loved by the viewers. Mitch, I think, is the one who should have been in the bottom 3. Andre should not have been in the bottom 3. But anyway, so the girls then are told to pick the boy they want to save. The boys are told to pick the girl they want to save. And Whitney was not happy. Whitney was not happy with the choices that they made. And it was sad because Jess was there on the vote and Molly was in the vote. So there's no way they were going to send their boys home and save Andre. That didn't make sense. Unless Catherine had been there and then the 3 of them would have been fighting for who they want to save. There's no way they were going to save Andre. Not at all. And you could see Jess wasn't happy with that. Because Jess was saying, what if the guys save Catherine and we send Andre home? What are we saying about Catherine? And I could tell she wasn't happy with the decision, but she just went along with it just for the sake of going along with it. I don't know about Ella because we barely saw Ella. And to me, it doesn't make sense sending home Andre. I think Sammy should have gone home. Sammy's playing the big game. I think Sammy should have been the one to go home. But then saying that Jess needs someone to couple up with, if we were going to save Sam for Jess, then we should have sent Mitch home. But because of the drama and the chaos that is creating in the villa, the producers are not likely to send him home. They're going to keep bringing in girls until he finds someone who likes him. Was I surprised that Charlotte was sent home? Not really. No, because Leah was still working on her connections with Sammy, but we didn't see anything of Charlotte after she broke up with Zachariah. We really didn't see her pursue anything with anyone. So I wasn't surprised that she was voted home. I'm really sad that Andre's gone home. I don't get why the producers keep sending home the islanders that the viewers like. They sent home Richie, now they've sent home Andre. People liked Andre and Richie as a couple, and we never got to see any of their scenes. Andre moved on to Catherine. We never got to see any of his scenes with Catherine. He was barely there. We barely heard his voice. All we saw was him in the background. If we hadn't seen him on his recoupling with Richie, we wouldn't even have known he was in the villa. So I don't like that. I didn't like that at all. I think they should have gone by public vote. If they're going to say public vote should have decided who went home. And I have a funny feeling public vote had Zachariah as the lowest, and this is why they asked the islanders to vote. This is my opinion. Anyway, I digress. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye everyone.